Majority sign-up, commonly called card check, can be an advantage to employers as well as workers. That was the experience for clerical employees, management, and the governing board at the Hennepin County Medical Center, the HCMC, in Minneapolis.
We didn't have a contract, and most of the other jobs here at the hospital had a contract. So we couldn't negotiate, we didn't have a voice, we couldn't go in and say, you know, we want these benefits, we want to keep this, or we want to get rid of this. So we pretty much had to piggyback off of what was left. And what happened was everyone got a raise except us. And so clerical was left without a raise for 3 years.
They were making changes. You would come to work one day and your whole job has changed. There was no training being done. And I just felt that we were the only ones, as far as the like the general service people didn't have a voice out there to speak for us. So I went to ASME and asked me to come help the clericals because we needed it.
And we sat down and we talked, and why do you want to organize? And Anita said, because we really are professionals. And we do good work here at Hennepin County Medical Center. And we can make this hospital a better hospital if we were all organized and we were doing it together.
A co-worker who approached me, talked about it, and gave me the place where I could go get my questions answered. So I never felt like anybody from AFSCME or any organizer was hounding me or bugging me. Whenever I had a question, they made themselves available to answer my question.
The HCMC clerical workers had tried to unionize 3 times before, using the longer ballot election process.
People are busy. They don't want to, the ballot boxes were only available in the morning before work for a certain amount of time. A lot of people don't have time. Some people are just, you know, some people barely make it to work on time. So they couldn't get to the ballot boxes. During lunch times, that the ballot boxes would be before or after work, and it was always somebody in authority standing at the boxes. And then, so it was very intimidating. Everyone was afraid to, go and vote. Plus, you had discussions by your employer that if you were thinking about it, you shouldn't. So the whole fear and intimidation process was in place, so people, it failed.
We didn't get in. So that's why I really wanted the card check. Yeah, from my own personal experience.
There was a card that they got from the Bureau, and on it, if you worked for the union, you would sign your name to the card, your name and address, and your job title. And by you signing the card said that, yes, I would support joining a union here at the hospital. By not signing a card, that's your no vote. That means you are not interested.
And they went coworker to coworker. And that's the beauty about a card check, is it wasn't so much me as an organizer. I was a resource, a tool, but it was really them.
The big daunting task was getting the okay to do the card check. We went to the county board, and we had to convince the county board.
The preference was definitely for an election. That's how we traditionally make decisions. But I think most of us on the board realized that a majority of the approximately 600 employees definitely wanted to join the union. They wanted to join AFSCME. I had been spending a lot of time over at the hospital as we were making a change in governance. I know a number of those employees, and it became clear to me that they wanted the union and that this would probably be the more efficient way of doing it. And I think there was also trust in the AFSCME organizers and AFSCME leadership that they knew what they were doing, there was not going to be inappropriate pressure, and that they would get it done in a timely manner.
And within 3.5 weeks, they had over 50% plus one signing cards. And that's pretty miraculous when you think about how large Hennepin County Medical Center is.
I was there when they counted the cards, and when they told us that we had it and that we had enough to be certified, I almost fell out. That was the best feeling ever. Me and Jody and my husband, we were just shaking, nervous that we wasn't going to have enough, but it turned out we had more than enough. So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful feeling for me.
I think that the card check was lower key. I think that there are always some people in management, perhaps some commissioners who get very antsy. Inevitably, there are some people as part of the proposed bargaining unit, any proposed bargaining unit, who just don't want to join a union. They don't want to be around unions. Their rights have to be respected too. That tends to become a bit adversarial. In this particular case, I think the card check worked well for this unit with the AFSCME people who, frankly, knew exactly what they were doing and did it well, and I think did it fairly.
It's the people going to each other, talking about it. You'll get a feel when you're out there talking to people, how people feel about it. You will be able to answer their questions. They do door knocking on the weekends, but they take members with. So it's like somebody you know, somebody you work with, will come to the door, you know. But if you don't want them to come back, they tell you they don't come back. They don't bug you.
I have been talking to Carmen in Pete's clinic for years, scheduling appointments. I never knew who she was by face until we started socializing and running these card checks. I got to know my coworkers better. So with the ballots, you just get somebody walk up and say, oh yeah, I'm here to vote yes or no. You don't engage conversation that way. I think you need to have communications, and when we were doing the card check, we were learning, you know, all sorts of things about the employees.
When I go out to organize, I would catch the voice. I'm like, do you work over in physical therapy? And they go, yeah. And they recognize my voice. They go, are you Carmen and Peds? And I go, yeah. And so then you probably saw the face. And like I said, the hospital is very large. So a lot of times you didn't see the person, but you talk to them on a daily basis. And you form friendships through this. People you never thought you would ever talk to. You've built a bond and relationship. You have monthly meetings now where you get to see each other and talk. And if there's issues now, we know that we have a labor management committee we've formed, and we can bring our issues there.
Learning from each other that they had a lot of things they could achieve together. How to do resources better within the hospital, how to have better parking, how to deal with the issues that would service the hospital. And they found within each other a passion that they wanted to be the best. They didn't want just a plaque down on the hospital first floor saying best #1 trauma in the United States. They wanted to be the best hospital inside and out. And they believed they could be a part of that if they were organized.
And I think we came to realize our employees have a lot to offer. They're the ones who deal with patients and patients' records and people on the telephone. We're all in the business of trying to help provide a high level of medical care at HCMC, and that includes the clerical workers who organized. So I think, all in all, we like to think of Hennepin as being a family of employees, and I think this certainly helped that extent at HCMC.
Developing the community in the process of a card recognition was, they have now, HCMC as an employer has approximately 600 employees who now know each other and are talking to each other. And with that comes great ideas. With that also, you know, find what's not working. That's not a bad thing, that's a good thing when you're trying to operate a big, large facility like HCMC. And when you have an election, it's more us versus them concept. It starts to happen, and that's kind of sad, because at the end of the day, you're going to go to the table and work together. I mean, that's the ultimate goal on all of these, is giving the people who do the work the ability to be at that table, be included in the process. And when they're included in the process, who knows where the great next idea comes from. And the odds are that if you have 100 employees, if you bank everything on one employee having the answer, you're probably going to lose that bet. But out of 100, and all of them get to participate, you probably got the next solution.
The Employee Free Choice Act would give most American workers the same opportunity that HCMC had to organize through majority sign-up.